is Deborah McCoy. I've been a board member for about 6 years now. I've known about Humboldt Park Social Services for quite a few more years than that. I first encountered them when an alderman was trying to shut down their shelter. I became aware of the work that they were doing in the community when all of the churches sort of circled around them to support them at that time. I think we all believe that if you work hard, you should be able to have a home. That's not the case right now. If you work hard and you have a minimum wage job, you're going to have a really hard time having a home.
So housing and urban development defines rent burdened as spending more than 30% of your income on rent. And most families in our community are spending far more than 30% of their income on rent every month.
My name is Ralph Omo Jr. I happened to had come out to join doing 15 and a half years flat, and I didn't have nowhere to go. I went to Humboldt Park and lived there for about 3 months, sleeping in the park. Humboldt Park Social Service help out people. They never turn nobody down. That's the reason why I like Humboldt Park Social Service. Change your life.
I had been living in Morton Grove. I had an apartment up there, and when I lost my job, I just couldn't keep paying the rent. I got a job a month after I turned 16 at Jewel, and I put myself through high school because I went to a Catholic high school. We had to help pay the tuition, so I did that, and I put myself through college also by working in grocery retail industry. So I've even applied at a few of those places, but at this point, nothing right now. So hopefully that'll change in the near future.
Yo llegué aquí hace 3 años con mi niño. Tengo un niño de 9 años. Llegué aquí por violencia doméstica, pidiendo ayuda, y pues gracias a este programa estoy aquí. Me han ayudado mucho. Mi niño está en la escuela y aquí me siento segura en esta casa, y estoy contenta en esta casa más por mi niño. Él es feliz aquí, me lo ha dicho muchas veces. Él no quiere mudarse de aquí.
This organization is the greatest. I mean, I just have been, they actually changed me too. I mean, I just never knew there could be so much more love of God. I thought God loved everyone, but they really they really are dedicated people.
My name is Delia Ramirez, and I'm the Executive Director here at Humboldt Park Social Services. I've been the Executive Director now for 6 years, and as I reflect on that, I can't stop but think about the thousands of lives that have come through our programs. Lives that possibly would never have found housing, or possibly have not found the employment that they needed had programs like HPSS or Humboldt Park Social Services not been around. And so I have to admit, I'm extremely privileged to be here. This is an organization committed to truly empowering, to truly serving and changing and advocating for the homeless, but also those that are disadvantaged and at risk of losing their housing. As I think about how do we do this kind of work every single day, I have to say that there's images of different faces and smiles and hands that continue coming to mind, from the churches that come from all the way from Libertyville, Barrington, Park Ridge, Alabama, Ohio, Oregon, California, New York. Groups that come that may have never met us and decided we are taking a 1-week trip to come and support this organization. And groups of people that have come to volunteer and think they're giving, walk out of here thanking us for what we've given them. I remember a letter I just got recently, a few months ago, from a teenager, probably 18 years old, who wrote to me and said, I'll never forget our trip to Chicago, working at your soup kitchen and laying in those mattresses where your men sleep every night. I can't forget what happened to me that day and what stirred up inside me. The reality is we had never noticed homeless people in this small town in Alabama. We come back and we've realized that it's not as perfect as we thought, and there are many things that we could do. That was a life that was changed forever, the same way that my life has been changed forever. And I'm really thankful for that opportunity. 20-something years ago, my family had very little and needed a place to stay. And before this organization was even incorporated, in one of these apartments, my family lived for my first 5 years of my life. Never in my life did I think that years later, my office would be my parents' old bedroom. I am thankful for the opportunity and for a mother who at a very young age said, you have to go to the soup kitchen. You have to come and help serve. You have to come and meet the people and talk to the people. And you have to be part of the solution. So on behalf of the thousands of clients we serve every year, thousands of meals that we serve every single year, on behalf of that little girl that comes into our program every single year that reminds me of me when I was a little girl, on behalf of that man that thought, I have a bachelor's, I have a master's, never will I be there, and is today in our programs, on behalf of that mother that comes from that local school in need of GED or assistance for employment, I thank all of you for making this possible. Because if it wasn't for the volunteers, if it wasn't for our donors, if it wasn't for our neighbors, if it wasn't for the most committed and passionate staff and board of directors, this tiny little organization committed to this community would not be able to celebrate its 21 years of service. But we are today, and that is because of all of you. Because you understand that $6 is all it takes to feed and shelter a man for one whole day. And you understand that if HPSS, it's Humboldt Park Social Services, if its Center for Changing Lives wasn't around, these 2,000 people would not be served. And I thank you for that. I truly do.